Can I tell you something? The other day, I caught myself reaching for my phone without even thinking. I unlocked it, looked at a few things, closed it, and then realized I couldn't even remember why I picked it up in the first place. That scared me more than I'd like to admit. Not because of the phone, because I wondered, how much of my life have I been living exactly like that? Just moving, responding, checking boxes, doing what comes next, without ever stopping to ask, is this actually how I want to spend my days? Maybe you've had a moment like that too. Not dramatic, not life-changing, just strangely quiet. The kind of moment that leaves a question sitting in your chest long after everything else gets loud again. And honestly, I think those quiet questions deserve more attention than we usually give them. You know, I used to believe big life changes happened all at once. A new city, a new relationship, a different job, something obvious. But lately, I've started noticing something else. People rarely drift away from themselves overnight. It's much slower than that. It's saying, I'll think about it later, over and over. It's filling every empty minute with noise because silence feels uncomfortable. It's staying busy enough that you never have to hear your own thoughts. I mean, we're surrounded by things asking for our attention every second. Messages, notifications, news, opinions, algorithms deciding what deserves our focus, and after a while, you almost forget that your attention belongs to you. Can I ask you something? When was the last time you sat somewhere without trying to escape the moment? No music, no scrolling, no multitasking, just you. I know, that sounds almost uncomfortable, maybe even boring, but maybe that's exactly why it matters. Because sometimes boredom isn't empty. Sometimes it's the doorway to thoughts you've been avoiding. I remember one evening when I decided to take a walk without bringing anything with me. No headphones, no podcast, no phone in my hand, just walking. For the first 10 minutes, it felt awkward. I kept reaching into my pocket out of habit. My brain wanted something, anything, a distraction. Then something strange happened. The world became louder, not noisy, just noticeable. I heard birds I normally ignored, wind moving through trees, people laughing somewhere down the street. Even my own footsteps sounded different. And somewhere during that walk, a thought appeared. Not because I forced it, because I finally gave it room. The thought was simple. I couldn't remember the last time I had actually listened to myself without interrupting the conversation. That realization stayed with me. Because we're really good at listening to everyone else. Friends, family, co-workers, strangers online. But listening to ourselves? That feels surprisingly rare. Honestly, I don't think most of us are exhausted because life is impossible. I think we're exhausted because our minds never get a chance to finish a thought. We jump from one thing to another before anything settles. It's like trying to read a book while someone changes the page every few seconds. Eventually, you stop understanding the story. Maybe that's why some people wake up one morning and feel disconnected from their own life. Nothing terrible happened. Nothing exploded. Nothing dramatic changed. They just slowly stopped paying attention to themselves. I know someone who spent years chasing what looked like success. Long hours, perfect schedule, always productive, always available. Everyone admired how much she accomplished. From the outside, she looked unstoppable. But one afternoon we were sitting together having coffee, and she looked at me and quietly said, "I don't actually know what I enjoy anymore." That sentence hit me harder than she probably realized. Because imagine working so hard that somewhere along the way, you lose track of the person doing all that work. She wasn't lazy. She wasn't ungrateful. She wasn't failing. She was simply running so fast that she never checked whether she still wanted to be on that road. And maybe you felt something similar, not necessarily about work, maybe about expectations, maybe about always being the dependable person, the one who says yes, the one who fixes everything, the one who keeps everyone comfortable, until one day, you realize you've become an expert at taking care of everyone except yourself. Here's something I wish someone had told me earlier. Ignoring yourself doesn't happen because you're weak. It often happens because you're responsible, because you care, because you love people, because you don't want to disappoint anyone. But there's a quiet cost to constantly putting yourself last. Your own voice gets softer, not because it disappears, because it stops expecting to be heard. And that's heartbreaking, because every person has an inner voice that starts out incredibly honest. When we're children, we know what excites us, what scares us, what feels wrong. Then life gets louder, little by little. We start replacing our own answers with other people's expectations. What should I study? What should I wear? What should success look like? What age should I have everything figured out? It's amazing how quickly, what do I want turns into, what am I supposed to want? I don't think there's anything wrong with advice, but advice becomes dangerous when it completely replaces curiosity. Maybe, instead of asking whether you're behind, ask whether you're even walking towards something you personally care about. Those are two completely different questions. You know what changed things for me? Not a huge breakthrough. Not some dramatic morning where I suddenly became a different person. It was something embarrassingly small. Every evening, before going to bed, I'd ask myself one question. What felt real today? That's it. Some nights the answer surprised me. A conversation, cooking dinner, watching rain against a window, helping someone without telling anyone about it, reading 10 pages of a book. Slowly, I started noticing a pattern. The moments that stayed with me weren't the ones that looked impressive. They were the ones where I was fully present. Maybe that's what we're actually searching for. Not a perfect life, a present one. Because there's a difference. Perfection keeps moving farther away. Presence is available right now, even here, even today, even if your life feels messy. I think we underestimate how much healing can happen when we stop rushing every experience. You don't have to solve your entire future before dinner. You don't need a 5-year plan every Tuesday afternoon. Sometimes, you only need enough clarity for the next honest step. That's manageable. That's human. And honestly, it's a lot kinder. I've noticed something else too. People often wait for permission to slow down, permission to rest, permission to change their minds, permission to enjoy simple things. But life rarely hands out official invitations. Sometimes you quietly decide, today, I'm going to notice the sunset instead of walking past it. Today, I'm going to finish my coffee before checking my messages. Today, I'm going to ask myself how I'm actually doing and wait for the real answer. Those tiny decisions don't look important until months later, when you realize they slowly change the way you experience your life. I don't think the goal is becoming someone completely new. I think it's remembering someone familiar. The version of you that still notices little things. The version that laughs without checking who's watching. The version that isn't constantly performing. That person isn't gone. Maybe they've just been waiting patiently beneath all the noise. So if you're listening to this today, and something inside you feels tired, not physically, just emotionally crowded, you don't have to fix everything tonight. You don't have to reinvent yourself this week. You don't have to prove anything before you're allowed to breathe. Just try something small. The next time you catch yourself reaching for a distraction, pause, wait 5 seconds, ask yourself one quiet question. What do I actually need right now? Not what everyone expects. Not what's fastest. Not what's most impressive. Just, what do I honestly need? Maybe the answer will surprise you. Maybe it'll be silence. Maybe it'll be a conversation. Maybe it'll be rest. Or maybe it'll simply be one uninterrupted moment where you remember that your life isn't something happening around you. It's something you're living. One choice, one breath, one honest moment at a time.